Vamp is a 1986 American film directed by Richard Wenk and stars Chris Makepeace, Sandy Baron, aka Jack Klompus from Seinfeld, Robert Rusler, Dedee Pfeiffer, Gedde Watanabe, Billy Drago, and the immortal Grace Jones. Pun intended. The plot follows three college students trying to impress a fraternity by hiring a stripper, only to find themselves in a seedy part of town ran by albino street gangs and vampires. So, for whatever reason, I don't remember ever really hearing about this movie. I mean, I might have. I don't honestly recall it. And I'm an Arrow Video fanboy, as I've said before. So when I noticed that they gave Vamp the mighty Arrow treatment, I thought I would check it out. And one of the first things I did was check out what director Richard Wenk had done over the years, which was kind of an interesting mixed bag. He's much more known as a writer, though he did start out by doing both writing and directing. Vamp was actually his feature-length debut, which is pretty cool. And I thought it was interesting because his first project was a Dracula short back in 1979. So I guess he had a thing for vampires in his younger days. And I really enjoyed this one. I have to say the opening scene was pretty clever, where it seems to be this awesome gothic horror film like Hammer Horror, which I was like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't know it was going to start like this, but then it turns out to be a just like frat house antics. So nice touch, especially from a first time director. And I'm not really into frat house movies, Animal House aside, so I was glad honestly to find out that this is not really like a frat movie. It dabbles in that, but it's really not all up in your face. The plot here pretty much that simple fun style that we all saw a lot in the 80s. Not quite as charming as maybe something like The Lost Boys, which actually came out a year later, or American Werewolf in London, which was 5 years earlier. So our three frat boy leads head out to search for a stripper, like I said, and they find themselves in a weird part of the city, and I actually really love this. The world building here was a lot of fun for me. You can't really tell if this part of town is always like this, or if it just comes alive at night because it's there are vampires there. Not really sure, but it's almost kind of like dreamlike for me. Like maybe it's from a different dimension, or not even real at all, like a fantasy world. It's you see pink and green lights everywhere, which was a cool way to add atmosphere on a lower budget. And I thought the cast was pretty good. A mixed bag, but actually pretty good. Even if I didn't love the leads, because I didn't, they still get the job done. I just found the two main guys a bit unlikable and super generic, and I found myself wishing that we had like a Corey Feldman or something like that. But don't get me wrong, they, as far as acting goes, they're solid. But my absolute favorite character here is Vic, played by the great Sandy Baron, who I always knew from Seinfeld as Jack Klompus. His character here is not far off from Jack Klompus either. He's still sleazy, he just swears way more, he's a great villain. You've also got a weird albino street gang led by Billy Drago, and he looks good as an albino gang leader. I'm not sure what their purpose even is, but they are oddly interesting. They seem to just kind of have a problem with everybody, so I guess that's their thing. I don't know. And of course, the entire goddamn film is built around Katrina, the stripper vampire queen played by Grace Jones, and she's amazing here. And what they do with her here is just super fucking cool. She wears like a different costume and even has a different hairstyle or headpiece in like every scene that she's in. It's very elaborate, like I said, especially for a small. It's ambitious for a small movie like this, and it really panned out in their favor. I mean, dude, if you look at the credits, and I urge you to, if you watch this, look at the credits. Grace Jones has an entire crew of people just dedicated to her because she has so much going on in this. She also has this like super long, kind of hypnotic dance scene at the strip club. It's an awesome scene. Apparently, though, the director had a problem with her line delivery, so he took away a bunch of her lines. And as shitty as that sounds, and it does, I wasn't there, but it sounds shitty, right? I think it actually works for the better. It's creepy and gives her like a much more inhuman, dangerous vibe because she's already such a physical actress. My main takeaway, though, from this was the question that it left me. Was Vamp an influence on From Dusk Till Dawn? So I'm giving Vamp a 6.5 out of 10. I had a ton of fun with this, even if it has its share of flaws, like a handful of characters that are completely unexplained, and how most of the plot is pretty generic. I'd definitely watch it again. It's a fantastic 80s vampire B movie, and I'd recommend it to fans of, The Lost Boys, American Werewolf in London. Any fan of the vampire genre in general, I think, would get something out of this. Cheers, guys, and I'll see you at the multiplex.